De Bruyne got it onto Haaland. Back to Kevin De Bruyne. So cool and collected. He has side-footed it into the net.
I'm joined today by a gent who's won more personal silverware than most clubs in their history. 5 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, a Champions League, a German Cup, Belgian title, 2 Premier League, Player of the Year, gongs. I could go on. But he's a gent who's been blessed with a laser-guided missile right foot with which he can create art. And let's be honest, his left foot is pretty bloody lethal too. Welcome back to Manchester City's Kevin De Bruyne.
Hello, Rog.
Kevin, congratulations. I don't know if you know this, but last season you won the treble. The Champions League, the Premier League, the FA Cup, playing collective football that felt, honestly, inevitable. And one of the keys to the team's success was your connection with Erling Haaland, who played as if AI was asked to generate the perfect goal scorer. Record 36 league goals flowed. When you get into the opponent's half, you look up and you see Haaland's beginning to crash on goal. Can you describe what you see? What goes through your mind? The options that you weigh up?
You know, whenever I get the situation to create chances for my teammate, and then obviously Erling is probably the guy who gets most of them. You know, I try to get him in the best position so he can do his thing, and that's obviously scoring goals. And he scored quite a few last year, so that helped us.
But what is it about Haaland? You said it's stupid to say when you think about somebody scoring 50 goals, but there's been games where I've told him, you could have scored 3 and you ended up scoring 1. But that's a good thing. He's just turned 23 years old. His coding can still be improved. But honestly, where can he get better? And how do you help him improve in those areas?
Well, I think obviously as a goal scoring point of view, I don't think there's a lot we can help him with. You know, that's him and his quality. I think where we can help him is maybe be more involved in the game, you know, and the build-up. And if he helps us a little bit on the other end, get the midfielders maybe in the right positions, or the wingers, he'll probably get even more chances. So, you know, obviously that's something that he's gonna improve anyway, because he's 23, like you said, and he's only been here a year. So if he gets better at these little details, he'll get more chances, and he will always score goals. That's never gonna change.
Quick question: is it possible to pass too hard to Erling Haaland?
Yeah, there is. there always is, but you know, obviously, you know, he's got great speed, great reaction time in the box, so you know, he can probably do a little bit more than other players can.
Another incredible relationship, you and Jack Grealish. First season, Jack took a lot of flack for his $139 million price tag, especially after what he himself admits was a tough transition campaign. But Jack said he used to watch hours of your play to get into the zone before games. His quote, KDB was like my idol. He's probably the best player I've ever played with. What changed for Grealish last year? How do you understand it, Kevin?
Well, I think one of the things is probably a little bit understanding what we want as a team or how we play. You know, it's very different than, I guess, playing at Villa. And I would say the second one is just freedom, you know, play like he wants to play, and, you know, do what you're good at, you know, taking people on, drawing defenders, create, and, you know, be arrogant in what you do, and just be you, and that's it.
How do you understand Grealish? You know, modern footballers are often obsessive, diet regimen, weight, health. But Jack's a gent who publicly loves to live to the best of his own rhythm, even to the fact he tells the world that he likes to go to Wings and post-game eat the Singapore chow mein, the egg fried rice, the salt and pepper chips. Is it his balance between life, really living life, and the football part of the secret to his success?
Well, I think that's everybody in general. I think obviously there's so much talk about everything, and health and diet and nutrition and rest and muscle, whatever, but you know, in the end of the day, we're still human people. We eat sometimes bad, we do have a drink, you know. Maybe people don't see it, and with Jack maybe they see it and he admits to it, but I would say about 90% of all football players do that anyway. There's also always a couple who stand out, but we do what normal people do. Don't you worry about that.
What's your go-to McDonald's order, KDB?
Oh, that's something I just do for the kids. Honestly, I would prefer an Indian. Give me a nice curry or something. I'll take that. A nice vindaloo.
Vindaloo life. John Stones, another standout last campaign, and in an all-new rampaging, all-action, everywhere, defender turned midfield general role. Can you describe what it's like, yourself as a midfielder, to have that Barnsley Goliath charging upfield and stitching together play with his black belt in passing?
John has been always unbelievable. I think he was struggling physically with a lot of injuries and all that stuff, and I think always when John was fit and he was on it, he was so good. But then I think last year he just took it to the next level, and to do what he does, play as a defender in midfield and come back, is a really hard job. But we said maybe he can turn goalkeeper in number 10. I don't know, maybe he can.
Is the one John Stones pass or piece of skill that stood out where you had to double take and be like, did the dude really just do that?
Yeah, I just think, the way when he's got the ball and somebody's near him, the way he shields the ball and then turns away, he's so good at it. And, you can't really take the ball off him, and, it's a very good skill to have.
I learned that at Everton, Kevin. Looking back at your last year, the history books will remember it as essentially perfect. Treble winners, dominant, imperious, season without chip or flaw. But it was never a given. Pep had to dig deep to drive you all on. And back in October, we talked about how you weren't playing at your top level, and then you responded, and then some. And then there was another incredible moment when you got into it with him, sidelined during that 4-0 beatdown of Real Madrid, after which Pep described his and your relationship. He said, "I love it. Kevin and I shout at each other, and I love it." How would you describe your relationship with Pep from your side? Because you and he seems quite unique.
I don't know. I think we know each other really well. We've been together for 7-8 years now, and we know how we are as persons and how we sometimes react in football. But sometimes he says he wants to see me a little bit angry. I think with the years I calmed down a little bit, but sometimes he still wants to get me angry. So I guess when I shout back at him, sometimes he don't mind, and there's never bad intentions to it. It's part of the game, and we all want to win, and we all want to do the best as possible. And sometimes football is emotion, and that's nice. People love to see emotion, and we don't want to be robots. It's already hard enough with some rule changes that we have to always be good, and there's always cameras on us, but it's part of life, of football, and I hope it never gets away either.
Pep wants more Vindaloo De Bruyne, but it is a transition moment for Manchester City. Your captain, Ilkay Gundogan, off to Barcelona, Riyad Mahrez to Saudi Arabia. But City are beginning a season that could see you win 4 league titles in a row, back to back to back to back, something no one's ever done before in the history of the Premier League. Do you think about that opportunity to make yourselves the greatest Premier League dynasty of all time, or do you focus only on the task ahead?
No, I don't really think about it that way. I never did. Obviously the goal is to win the Premier League, but you can't say, we can make history or whatever. I think in one way we already part of that, because if you win 5 and 6, that's already amazing. And the one we didn't win, we were second because Liverpool had about 99 points. So it's to top that is crazy. But it's just amazing that I've been part for that many good memories, and take it as it comes.
Would 4 in a row make you, Manchester City, the greatest team of all time?
Honestly, I don't care. And I'm very happy. I don't have to decide about that. Are we part of one of the best teams? Probably, but then it's personal preference. There's other teams that are really good, and that's it. Other teams were good and were nice to watch, and we are the same. But in the end, if you're a supporter of United, you will choose that treble team or whatever. If you Arsenal, you'll choose Invincible. Chelsea will do 2-5, 2-6. It's what it is, and in the end, like, I'm already happy that I could do this. So anyway.
I love you. You're the last rational man left in football, Kevin De Bruyne. Last question for you. Vincent Kompany once told me that the greatest opponent Manchester City have is complacency. After winning so much, how do you fight it?
That's a difficult question. I don't really know. I think you have to try and find something in yourself to just try and do it again and again. You know, I think it's hard that I would say in the summer or in preparation it's a little bit more mellow, I would say, but it's been mellow like this for years and years. But I think once you go in the flow of playing football again, then you know that fire comes back, and you know the team takes each other with you, and then once you're in that mood, it's just there.
Kevin, to you, to your health, to your continued success. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Courage. Listen to the full version of this podcast and all our podcasts wherever you get your pods. But first, subscribe here for more Men in Blazers videos. And courage.